rotten apple. Take a bite, taste the worm. Embrace the world of reality with face to learn. Co-connects and drug busts. Graveyards with thugs rest. I keep my mug blessed. The evil is a legal substance. Soul, roll mob deep. Guns in the black Jeep. Mag 11s and legends. Cracks in the streets. Patroller, gold money folder. Gonna have these soldiers. Never sober, taking over. My blood is colder. Niggas respect violence, so I become it. I'm from it. I even done it. Blunt it, so run it.
Yeah, son, you know what this is. Take it off, man.
Come on, Don. Don't even come at me like that. Come on,
Yeah,
Don.
imagine this, no gun, no knife. It's a one-on-one, now we got to fight. Imagine this, no gun, no knife. It's a one-on-one, son. Yo, I'm a cream fiend with a mean dream, brain full of schemes. My crew's rolling fresh out the greens. Give you what you never seen. The ifs on the Mac 10. It's 2:10 in the AM in the streets of Queens. Try hard or die hard. Chances of surviving the game is like trying to feed a law lord. I walk a piece with a deadly shadow. They wanna blow me with a double barrel. Found no sorrow. I brawl with blinker. Caught biting in the finger. Don't make hell your new home with the blue chrome. Mistake wants me. Swamp fella but raunchy. The soul of a cold body haunts me. I flee the country, but only to shed tears for years. Too out for my own self, hoping help is near. Street fighting was cool, but in school I bought a new tool. Dueling with the devil, a rebel, a fool. Imagine this, no gun, no knife. It's a one-on-one, now we got to fight. Imagine this, no gun, no knife. It's a one-on-one, son. I hear Jake walkie-talkies in my sleep. Mark money I keep, play the benches all week. I visualize coops, alligators and suits. Elevators in my mansion that rise into the roof. Sipping 80 proof, watching juice. But hold up, I see some brothers trying to roll up. Wishing I could fold up. It's hard to see the faces in their hoodies. I better put it. Too late, I tried to swing when they jig me. I'm out. Yeah. Yeah, take it to the bridge. Queens Bridge. Imagine this.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? All right, I had to get that intro. I had to get that intro out the way. I had to do that and get the intro out the way. Definitely. What's going on, everybody? It's your guy BMT. Also joined with my special guest. He's no stranger, especially to these kind of conversations.
What's up?
We have a very good rapport conversation. Hell, at one time he was going to probably be taking over BMT. Y'all going to really be getting some shows in. He'll get, you're like, oh,
I don't have your style. I don't have your style, your charisma. So your charisma is what built this style. Yeah.
If Mike would get it, bro, y'all be getting homework. I'll be getting homework and books to do. And
I know. I got one too. I got one for you when we talk about this. Yep. But so, I got a little something to show.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing,
bro. My homework for. So you guys, listen, y'all. There's a lot been going on. I know everybody focused on football, Blueface, and all kind of nuances and stuff.
LL Cool J,
and all that stuff.
Boy.
But listen, man, we gotta listen as two well educated men. We actually like to pay attention and step back and pay attention to the webbing and design of things that are going on. And sometimes, listen, man, your own country or your own people don't want to actually talk about the reality of things going on. Y'all can talk about Kirk Franklin and all the other foolishness, but that's not going to really matter, especially at the rate that this is going. The process has very much so been sped up faster than what I actually anticipated. Listen, man, it's don't worry, Iman. This is going to supersede what LL Cool J is doing. I'm waiting for it all to hit America. So, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. Like, honestly, y'all thought, hey, y'all, listen, bro. Some people are playing.
What's up, Kelly?
Listen, man. Y'all might want to start brushing up on some other foreign languages.
Right.
What's happening going on with the world right now And you know the thing about it, people aren't fighting back; they're going with open arms.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know it's over because like mostly most if you like look at some of these histories and stuff, most of the times when the people like the invaders come in and the people hold on 1 second, let me get this I don't know if I gotta okay. Yeah, like when invaders come in and the people themselves invite the invaders in. Here, you want something to eat? Yeah, we sick of them. Go ahead, and kill them. Kill the king. Destroy the little fortress down there because they sending us too much taxes. It's too much taxes. They are oppressing the little peasants, which is us, the little plebes, and we the workers, we the ones who pay taxes. They get on TV and get on the public square bragging that they don't even pay taxes. Then they the richest people. So, now, like you said, people are like, you know what, Russia ain't all that bad. And, China is kind of, that's kind of cool.
Like, it don't sound as bad as it seems.
I know. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Like people, like they had this thing. I don't know if you've seen this up there in Canada, right? They had this thing where it was something about some Nazi. They pretend like they didn't know it was a Nazi. He's 98 years old. And I guess they invited him on stage, and they was like, "Oh, this is a World War II veteran. He fought against the Russians to, defeat the Russian communists and the commies." And everybody stood up and started clapping. And then somebody pointed out later on, like, you know what? The Russians were actually on our side at that time. The Russians were fighting the Nazis. So you're clapping for a straight up Nazi who wanted to genocide people and kill people. So, and especially in black folks too, but the Jewish peoples and all of these different kind of people. So y'all, it's just people don't know no history now, and it's just funny.
It's definitely this is definitely gonna be one I'm really looking forward for y'all. I know y'all saying, "Oh man, BMT, like we want to hear the entertainment," but we gotta give y'all the actual. We gotta actually give y'all the actual we got to do our due diligence and actually bring y'all up to speed on some of this stuff. So what's happening, and what's happening is right now, Russia's taking over Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about that, Mike?
Yep. And guess what? Guess how they doing it? Just like we were saying, they're being basically being invited in.
That's crazy. Like they're literally taking over Africa, and there's no pushback.
Exactly. It's like,
there's no
that's how
pushback.
slick it is.
I know a lot of people usually give that and it's funny, we usually are told, "Hey everybody, we need to go to Africa, we need to go do this, we're gonna do that."
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, we're gonna get away from that white man. Listen, bro, Africa been conquered a long time ago. I don't know
yeah.
I don't know if you think going, man, but they're mourning, they are mourning they're actually happy that Russia's taking over.
Exactly. See,
why is nobody talking about that?
Well, because that's the real news. See, and the whole point is, the United States, or the people in the United States, is like basically you got to have a population to steal from every generation, and they got to be kind of stupid for you to, so they won't fight back. So you can just keep stealing them. You can charge them higher taxes. Or what can we do? We can just keep on running all these little scams and games that everybody knows is games and scams. But it's like, what are you going to do about it? You can know, but what are you gonna do? You just a little family trying to struggle and survive. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a population of people to do that. That's why the news, all these different groups of big entities, they're not going to talk about like what's actually news. They're going to talk about, oh, Biden. They actually elect Biden and Harris. These people, I mean, really, do you think they're actually running the government, man? Please. These
No.
people are just entertainment. They're just like football. This is basically the same as Deion Sanders. Okay, let's look at Deion Sanders' foot. All his toes chopped off. Wow. You know what I'm saying? All the coaches are plotting against Deion Sanders. Wow, that's news. You know, like you got wars and stuff. Yo, your dollars are going to the damn hell. You know how much gas costs now? This is insane. You got people coming in replacing all these workers, people striking for weeks and stuff.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, at this rate, no, we're not late about. We're not actually. Here's the thing about it, David. We're not late about it. We're not late about it. The thing about it is, the real precarious question is this: why does China? Why does America choose to not say anything about it? Because in all essence of actuality, what can you do? It's almost like that bully that's going around that you know he's beating up all your friends, but you know, damn it, what can I honestly do about it? But let's be honest, ain't none of y'all in the chat going to join the military. Fight Russia. We know that. We just know that thing. Y'all going to sit online. I mean, they already parked a Russian battleship in Cuba.
Okay, yeah, they cool. Cuba and Russia's been cool for a while.
So you think if they could put a battleship right there in Cuba, you think they care what y'all think on YouTube?
Yeah, even in Venezuela.
Right. Like, do you really think they care what y'all think? Y'all try. We already tried that. Oh, we're gonna sack their economy. That ain't work. I don't know what you call our biggest enemy, because the person who's taking over the world. That sounds like that's the big boy. That's the big boy. Do you think Russia has love for you? You think they got love for you? You think they're gonna open their arms and bosom? You think Putin loves y'all? Putin don't have no love for none of y'all, man.
And nobody has love for us if we don't have love for ourselves. See, that's what I've been, my same thing that I bore everybody saying basically the same thing over and over again. It's like we're gonna have to do something for ourselves eventually. I don't know how many of us gonna survive that actually realize that, but all this little Democrat, Republican, this little shilling for all these different groups of people, you're going to have more bang for your buck if you go ahead and, create something that, that's like a self-love type situation where you got actual community. We need to actually have that, like a community like these other groups have that can actually hang with each other instead of trying to always sabotage each other and undercut, the men and women and all this old stupid stuff that they got running around. And that's what needs to happen. Other than that, when these other groups do take over, and I say when, because I think that I ain't gonna lie, BMT. I think that these people in this little government, because they could easily just say, okay, crank up the machine, crank up the media. Let's go ahead and do this. Tell everybody what's happening and what they need to be doing, but they're not. They're not.
I'm gonna be honest. Because I know some people say, "Well, China's the real big enemy," but China and Russia are actually working together.
Exactly.
So, what do y'all say? Why do you think America's not moving on Russia? Because China literally is backing Russia, and Russia's backing China. Those are the two biggest superpowers, and America can't do nothing about it. So, you got. Who you want? Which one you want to fight? Because You jump one, the other one's gonna jump in and beat you up.
But see, you know what, BFT though, they're doing it so smooth.
They are really.
If you really understand it, they're like, you know what, America has actually nukes. We don't actually want to all die. So even it doesn't matter because when you got nukes, you know, even though you can, let's say if we did a little conventional war or whatever, of course they're going to win because they got more. Well, not of course, but like if you fight both of them at the same time, they're going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because Iran and all that stuff. But because you got nukes, they don't want that because nobody's gonna win. Because as soon as that kind of scenario happens,
that's the only stage thing is the nuke button. And honestly, now
and that's dangerous.
Russia has nukes and China. Yep. So they're like, yo, bro, nobody wins that.
Exactly. At this point, nobody wins. So, but at the same time, so you got that stalemate. So really, the war is not going to be straight up conventional like that.
It's not going to be about the pistol. It's going to be about winning. It's going to be about the silver spoon. So let's get into it. We've already started out the introduction. This is going to be a good show. We may even open up the panel. It's up to Mike on how you.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I want David come up, and we need to have all that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this out the way. Let's go here with what France and all the EU think about all of this. We already know.
Welcomed an announcement by France that it will withdraw its troops from the country. Niger's democratically elected president, Mohamed Bazoum, was ousted on the 26th of July and replaced by the commander of an elite military unit. Since then, the junta has ended Niger's military cooperation with France, a former colonial power. French President Emmanuel Macron said 1,500 French soldiers will withdraw by the end of the year.
The only legitimate leader of Niger is President Bazoum, who was elected by his people. Today, he's being held.
Now, I want you to understand this. France and these people, they're the ones that put Niger president in
Niger.
power.
That's the name. Wait, you gotta pronounce it a different way. Okay.
You want to call it what it is?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me pronounce it the nice way.
Plantation owner.
I ain't gonna lie, because as soon as I seen that on the map, I was little. I was like, what the fuck? They actually have a whole country named Niger. What kind of shit is this? But anyway, keep going.
So, I mean, it's crazy. This just shows you how little France and the EU think of Africa.
Man,
that if they're not in control, then guess what? Hey, we recognize them. They better listen to what we gotta say.
And if you play it a little more, you see what he said because I did listen to it because you sent this to me.
Right,
but go ahead and play the rest. This is the funny part to me. Go ahead.
The only legitimate leader of Niger is President Bazoum, who was elected by his people. Today, he's being held hostage. He's a victim of this coup because he was carrying out brave reforms and because there's ethnic score settling going on. There's a lot of political cowardice there. That's why France has decided to bring its ambassador and several diplomats back to France. We are putting an end to our military cooperation with the current Niger authorities because they don't want to fight terrorism anymore.
All right, stop it.
Well, General, don't.
Look how funny that is. Basically, these people cut this man's food, water off from his house. They told him to get out of the country, their little liaison or whatever, their little ambassador. And the man wouldn't leave because they didn't want to respect the authority, the military authority over there in Niger or whatever you want to call it. But they sat up there, and instead of just saying we leaving because they told us to leave, he was like, well, they're cowards and they don't want to fight terrorism. So, we're going to stop cooperating with them. And we're going to just leave. It's because of us, though. It's not because of them.
That's crazy that they're calling these Africans cowards, punks, whatever y'all want to call them. because
Because they don't want to fight for France to steal their uranium. That's all it is. They've been taking their uranium. They said their uranium or normally costs the African peoples that I looked at, the African Union folks, they were like uranium on the world market average is $200 whatever it is, a unit, whatever units they sell it at. And France is taking it at 80 cents a unit. And I don't know who getting the 80 cent, but yeah.
but see
But
that
they
just shows
yeah.
me that listen, man, I'm very interesting about this. I'm very interested about it because we're looking at it as that if France is saying that if we're not in control of you and y'all don't fight for us, you're cowards, you're punks, you know what I'm saying? How dare you not want to fight for us?
Mm-hmm.
Fighting terrorism. But hell, they done colonized Africa. So it's like some kind of sick Stockholm syndrome shit going on. It's like some kind of Stockholm going on.
It's like this. Look, don't steal Massa's chickens. Don't steal Massa's watermelons. But Massa is actually stealing your whole body and your whole labor. You run away from me, nigga. You better pay me for your body. This is the mentality of the white supremacist little situation that's out here in this world. And it's the same reason, it's the same game they pulled on Haiti, and Haiti fell for it and paid them for their freedom. And now look at Haiti, it's all poor and everything.
You know,
Uh,
fucked up, boy. I
yeah,
don't know
you
why
sit up
anybody
there.
fucks with that. France.
That's the dumb
That's
stuff, but
crazy.
that's the French thing. It's not just France, but it's that enslavement type of mentality thing that they put on people. They make them think like, oh, this is legitimate. Yeah, I am a slave. Yeah, I did run away and it did cost them some money. So I need to go ahead. You empathize with somebody who you should be fighting. That's the problem. You can't be empathizing with their little hurt and their little anger.
I love it. I love it. The face that all of them are making and smiling while he's giving this speech of how the Africans are the cowards and the punks
Yeah.
not fighting back. Like fight back, but yet these guys got the whole EU and they willing to go fight Russia with the Ukraine. But I'll tell you, boy, when pussies speak, let's keep going.
Because they don't want to fight terrorism anymore.
Well, General Dominique Trinquant is a former chief of the UN French military mission and joins us from Paris. So welcome to DW. Until last night, France had been defying the junta's orders to withdraw its troops and remove its ambassador. So why make this change now?
The coup happens 2 months ago. And during these 2 months, France was waiting to see what was happening in Niger. In fact, the coup was led initially by General Tiani, who was the head of the guards of the President of the Republic. And there were differences inside the leaders of the coup between the army and the guards. So yesterday, President Macron talked to President Bazoum after 2 months waiting what was happening inside the leaders of the coup, and decided that he will withdraw the ambassador and the French troops because cooperation against jihadists with Niger army was no longer possible. It was the aim of the deployment of the French forces. I just remind that there was no French basis prior to the request of the official elected regime in Niger.
So does this now mean that France's diplomatic relations with Niger have ended?
Yes, probably, with the current people leading the coup. They are not.
So this is interesting from how me and Mike have seen it, that France is like, if we're not in charge and we don't have our people in charge, we're not going to support you.
That's right.
I want y'all to understand that. that they're saying if they're not in charge, or their people are not in charge, they're not going to support you.
And the whole people of the Niger country, the average citizens, they don't like France. They're supporting those military officials. I heard one guy say it. I didn't check this out myself, but this is just what I was talking to somebody. He's from Nigeria or something. He says that so he said the country has, I forgot how many millions, 14 million people in the country, and it was like a 6,000 man military. So I was like, what? Is that it? Because I guess none of the people joined the military in this year. How you gonna have a 14 million population but only 6,000 people in your military? So yeah, I think now that they've been recruiting a bunch of people, now the military, a lot of the locals are starting to join them now, and then I think they had this pact with Burkina Faso, Niger, and some other country that was close around there. They decide like, oh, if somebody mess with one of us, then we are going to fight. And so that's a development that's actually kind of good. But with the French thing, we just got to understand, like, that's the reason why David said, it's a big question out there. I know we've been told for the last 50 years or whatever it is, since World War II, that the Russians is the enemy, and Stalin and Gorbachev and Putin and whoever, I forgot the other dude name. But like, they're the enemy, and Russians, and they're this and they're that, and Russian mafia, all that kind of stuff. But people are starting to say, you know what, actually, because there's a debate there. They're like, we're not too sure about how evil and bad these Russian people are, because, we got a lot of different information, and now we're making different judgments. So that's the reason why it's not clear cut like it used to be. Like in the past, oh, Russia's the enemy. Oh, you're a Russian bot. Oh, hell no, we can't be doing no Russian stuff. All that communism, that little Marxism stuff, we can't have that. And now, if you start putting that stuff out there, you got presidential candidates that are respected running on Marxism. They're like, we are socialists, straight up. That's what we about. So, that's what's happening out here on those levels. The people are not really. The people are kind of not. It's not clear cut no more, BMT. So that's why it's no pushback.
I learned that the hard way when I started to travel. What I thought was the world, or what I thought was black and white, was gray.
Mm-hmm.
I started learning very, very quickly. Let's get back to it. This is very interesting. They refuse to give the blacks any type of. Granted, they didn't mind pulling from them, but they refuse to help them so long as they're not in control.
Not legally in charge. President Bazoum has not withdrawn his position. He's still taken as hostage.
That French
but
flag
hasn't
still flying,
signed his resignation. So until now, he's still the legally elected president in Niger.
Now, France has significantly scaled back its military presence in the wider Sahel region. Is France now admitting that it has given up on its ambition to bring security, peace, and stability to the region?
It is not the ambition of France to fight jihadism in the region. It's at the request of the state in the region, initially Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Now they change their mind. They are no longer really fighting jihadists, and they don't need France to fight jihadists because they are not really fighting jihadists. So that's their position. It's not the position of France. France is just helping people who ask them to help.
And so can you see anyone else trying to fill the gap that will be left by this French withdrawal, say China or Russia?
China, I don't see really a military involvement of China, but Russia certainly. Wagner is already.
And there we go. So you hear that, Mike? So everybody who says, "Watch out for China," right? Both of them are there.
Yeah.
Both of them are there doing whatever the hell they want to do. And you're not going to step to either one of them. Listen, I told y'all can stay inside these four walls of America, but the rest of the world is getting terraformed by those two countries.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world is seeing either one or two of those flags looming over them. Y'all can stand here and talk about Prime and all this other stuff. That don't matter. Listen, the rest of the world, by the time y'all get out there, y'all can go and y'all can keep on traveling out there. But I promise you, you will be having a Russian or Chinese checkpoint somewhere down the line.
Right.
You will be meeting one of them checkpoints. And I promise you, you can't do that. Yes, we can. We did it legally. So,
I think we're going to meet those checkpoints right here in this country, in this nation, in this land, especially the China ones.
Let's push on with this one.
Yeah.
Present in Central African Republic, is present in Mali, probably will be present in Burkina Faso, and we'll see in Niger. The problem is that for the last 2 months, for the last year, in Mali, after the withdrawal of the French forces, jihadists has increased their pressure. Timbuktu is surrounded by jihadists, and there are fights in the north of Mali between the government.
Now, notice how they call the Africans jihadists. You're in their country, but you call them the terrorists.
Exactly. And another thing I wanted to point out, BMT, just so I don't know this DW News, but I think it's an African outfit. But it's like, why didn't you get access to one of those Mali, Burkina Faso, or Niger people to conversate with this French person?
So I started going to DW News. Like nowadays, for me, and I just giving y'all some of my back. I would tell anybody, if you want to really keep track of the world, don't depend on Fox News or CNN.
Right.
You need to go to other news outlets outside of the U.S.
Right.
Really know what's going on. Like I have some Indian news channel that I go to. I have different other news channels out there because they know what's going on in their own country.
Right, definitely.
And y'all, this fallacy as an American that we have, that we think that we're so understanding and loving, and everybody wants to pull us in. I'm just trying to let you know, man, it's not like that. Everybody does not want you. Everybody does not care less for y'all. Do not believe those bedtime stories that they're telling y'all that, oh yeah, so just come on and just do this and do that, or we can go whatever country you want. Play the game and you'll find out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's also too, like I said, these outlets, I mean, like I said, they have different agendas for their own country and stuff like that. But at the same time, just like you were saying, how the way there's a certain mentality, like the Black or the African or what we call indigenous. So like, I know we talk English over here in America and we're all Americanized and we're thinking, we're the same and we are the same, or we're human and everything, all that. But we got to understand, like, they actually look at us like a tribe. Like, we are like the indigenous type of people. That's why you're called Black. But to us, so that's why this man can sit up there and say, oh, this Bazoom or whatever, this guy that we wanted, he's the legitimate legal leader or whatever. Like, whose law? This is like, how your law and you in another country, the official law in their countries. So you're going to say this, man?
Choose your
This,
leader, Mike. We chose your leader.
exactly. So you're from an outside zone, and these people, and that like you just pointed out, you was like that flag still flying because those military officials realize that this is an international space. They're like they're going to stay. They're still going to respect international customs, but they decided to remove a leader that the people, obviously everybody in that whole country does not approve of that guy, whoever that is,
The white
sitting up
man
in that
approves.
house.
That's all that matters. The white man approves of him. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, and see that's the issue. You know, the whims of you natives. You see, you gotta realize it's the same situation, same mentality. It's the exact same mentality of Christopher Columbus discovering America with other people here. These people are not real people in their minds. And I know we can speak English like them. We can, we can draw, we can write just like them. But I'm telling you, that is their philosophy. Oh, you got that melanin. You are not of us. You are part of the foliage. You're just like the animals. And, y'all just come with this. And y'all labor comes with it too. So, like, when we take over this little zone, this area, y'all just a part of that, and we just direct y'all, and y'all just brutes basically. You see, that's how. And so we're sitting up here trying to negotiate them like human beings, and we're sitting up here trying to empathize with them, and they're just looking at you like a chicken or a cow that should be slaughtered or can work for them or something.
I just want y'all to understand there's the calmness in this man's voice, whereas to he's telling y'all, and see, and that's the thing about it. If you even as an American, you find out, oh man, why y'all talk like no, y'all not being realistic about this, man. Y'all are really not being realistic that France in a lot of the EU is mad that they don't have a vice grip over Niger and their people, and how they can call their people terrorists. They get to pick and choose who's the terrorist in their own country. They get to pick and choose who's the leader for those people.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine somebody picking and choosing who's daddy in your home. Who's mommy? How do you breed? How do y'all raise your children? Oh, wait, you don't have to imagine that because that's going on right here in America. So you're watching it playing on a bigger platform, but see, a bigger power came along and just took the power because we knew France can't fight back against them.
Mm-hmm.
And said, get out.
That's it.
That's it. We get out. And they said, I'll tell you what, we'll do y'all one better. We'll provide y'all the resources. Y'all don't got to deal with them because we don't deal with them either. And see, when you've been starved and beaten and treated like shit for so long, you'll take anything. Even if it is another dire situation, you'll take anything because guess what? I mean, and this is going to be offensive. I don't know. Me and Mike already know how we're going to go about into this.
Right.
But let's be honest. Africa will sell its goddamn ass, its goddamn men and women and children.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Bread.
got to be addressed. Just like Chantel's saying. Chantel's saying she's like, that's an issue there. Like you just said, like,
They
this
will sell their own
issue
people.
of selling people, like they're not even looking at themselves as human equal people. This is the situation and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, people thinking like, some other group gonna love you and respect your situation. Dude, you have to deal with your self-love and self-respect. Like if you run away from your own situations, you want to run away. We got so many people want to just abandon everything. I ain't talking about just abandon the bad behaviors. We got bad actors and stuff like that. So of course, we want to distance ourselves from them. But I'm talking about you people. We got people out here just like every black person out here, forget y'all. I'm something different. You know, I'm from a whole nother zone. I'm on another level. You know, I'm different. It's just to be different for no reason, knowing that you were born right with same where you come from the same spot these other niggas coming from.
Like
You know,
we got, and like I said, and Chantel, you're welcome to come up. Like I said, we're having an adult conversation. If you are African, you're welcome to come up. Mike has already given the green light. Even if you're of opposing view, even if you're non-black, we still want to hear what y'all got to say too. So, like I said, me and Mike, we're highly intellectual. We're not afraid to go to other panels and speak our mind. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about it that kind of irritates the hell out of me. I know it irritates Mike because people look at us when we say that we go to other panels, especially non-black panels. Oh, what y'all doing over there? Y'all don't think they don't come over here and talk to y'all and listen to y'all? Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know who's behind that damn avatar. But y'all literally will spill y'all guts and tell how daddy beat y'all, mommy done sold y'all for eating and shit. Y'all tell all that damn shit. At least at least me and Mike have cammed up our damn lifestyle, and we tell you for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all scary. Ain't no close for this motherfucker. So we telling y'all straight up. Like I said it straight up. I said, listen, I didn't get mad that DeSantis said I'm not gonna teach African American study. Shit, school system wasn't teaching that shit ever.
Right. They was teaching misinformation anyway.
So what the fuck did we lose? Honestly, the best thing y'all probably could do is say, cool, now since the school ain't teaching it, good. So I just need to get my child, go to that and go there and go get y'all got the damn internet. Y'all sit on here.
Yeah, I mean,
gossip for
that's
goddamn
exactly what I was about to say.
18 to 16 hours, but you won't look up your own goddamn history. Nigga, you think them Native Americans are asking goddamn Europeans for their goddamn history?
Please teach us about our Native American.
Y'all fucking mind, bro. They keep that shit on deck for them. Hey, what tribe you came from? I'm from the Chippewa tribe.
Right.
Blackfoot that walked
and
down.
We did this and we did that. And we did this and we did that.
Ask an African, so you're an African? Nope, I'm Ghanaian, I'm this and that. Other people know their background like it's a resume. Why? Because they rather them tell the story than allow you to tell their story for them.
They want to have that first narrative. It's just like the Santa Claus thing. If you tell your kids there's such thing as Santa Claus, that's their first narrative. And then when somebody else tell them the truth, they're gonna sit up there arguing about it is a Santa Claus. Because that's the second narrative. You're gonna always argue with the second narrative the most, even whether it's true or not. If somebody tell it different than you first heard it, that you're not, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna resist that. Yeah, that's what's up. But like that's the thing. But that's exactly a good point, BMT, because people, a lot of us don't understand. Like, you got to root your kids in their history. You force them, like the white man. You go to their school, they're teaching you white people's history. Oh, Pythagorean theorem. Oh, George Washington never told a lie. Benjamin Franklin discovered lightning, and they're gonna tell you all that shit, and it don't matter if it's true or not. They just gonna tell it to you their way, and you gonna come up with some sort of, you gonna start liking them. That's it.
Right.
Like, and if you don't, that's what you got to do.
I
got to make
sure
you teach them.
I got in trouble. This is not no strike against me or Mike, our history, but I told people, I said, I don't care to know about the Holocaust. Oh my God. You know, I ain't got nothing to do with me. Show me what slave was running the Holocaust.
Yeah. Frank.
What the fuck we were doing? My great granddad was picking cotton. He ain't got nothing to do with that damn shit. The fuck, he couldn't even. Most of my people couldn't even read. So what the fuck were we doing? So we were in chains.
We were fighting that. We was fighting that in the war. We were sending soldiers over there to
telling
die.
us that story like we supposed to give a shit. Shit, that ain't like y'all telling us like we supposed to. Oh my God, you don't. No, I don't. You think they give a fuck about me and mind picking cotton, eating goddamn pig slop, goddamn sleep on goddamn dirt.
Yep.
So I'm going to give a shit now. Oh my God, BMT, you're so evil. No, we're not evil. I'm just being what it is. Like, so we're telling y'all, and this is not no hate speech. This is not me. Y'all know BMT. I talk to other groups of people. I'm not ignorant, but y'all don't like it when men and women on my channel, we actually have our own minds and thought process. That's why when y'all say we flip flop, no, we don't flip flop. Y'all just can't stomach what we saying.
Yeah, it's just reality. It's just this. Reality is not straight up like this one point and that's it. And you just keep. No, reality is kind of different sometimes. Sometimes you're feeling this way. So people be tripping, bro.
What's going on, brother Kenneth? We about to let's keep on playing it, and I'm gonna get to Kenneth. Just want y'all to. We just catch y'all up to speed. I want y'all to understand. France done said Niger and all you Africans are pussy and punks. Y'all refuse to help us fight Russia and put the leader that we put in charge of y'all back on the plantation. And Russia said, fuck y'all. We're taking over Africa with China. And ain't shit America or any of y'all can do about it. So shut the fuck up. Go deal with Biden. And we'll get to y'all when we get over there to the Western Hemisphere. So I want you to understand, majority of Asia is occupied by Russia and China now. And now Africa is predominantly occupied by Russia and Africa. Them niggas are playing Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. It ain't gonna matter what the fuck y'all think or about Deion Sanders, any of these motherfuckers. But by the time this shit is over with, these motherfuckers will be sitting around your backyard. And ain't nothing you can do to say what president you gonna get. It ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter when they say, hey, bro, we got the numbers now, bro. Y'all can say Russia's the enemy. Y'all can say China's the enemy. Both of them in bed together. They ain't got it. You know what's so crazy? They already said the U.S. dollar ain't worth shit. We're making our own money. So
yeah,
when they already
seen that, right? Yep.
Your economy, when they're trying to destroy your economy, you know what that means? They understand no need to use the gun.
See?
I'm gonna beat you another way. Once I destroy your economy, you have to come to me. I'm gonna take your immigrants, I'm gonna take your workers, I'm gonna take everything from y'all. Y'all better know how this playing field works.
You think they can use Bitcoin instead of dollars?
Man, Putin don't give a fuck about no Bitcoin. Putin wants y'all to get to work. Y'all, he gonna say, get the fuck off my internet. Y'all thought the Russian bots and YouTube was a thing before. Shout out to my sister Asada. Y'all thought them were a problem before, boy. Listen, it's highly abnormal to care for others more than you care for yourself. Agreed. What's going on? Charlotte Isbred, a deliberate dumbing down of America. Yup. Thank you for that, bro. We got to definitely get down to looking at all this information. Let's disseminate more.
And they separated from Azawad. So I think that Wagner is not really filling the gap. It's just protecting the giants in Bamako, probably in Ouagadougou, and we'll see in the future in Niamey.
Right. Thank you for outlining that so clearly for us, General Dominique Trinquant.
Thank you.
And let's cross now to DW correspondent Flourish Ubani, who is following that story for us. She joins us from neighboring Lagos. It's good to see you, Flourish. President Macron's announcement did come as a surprise. Paris had been defying the junta's orders to withdraw its troops and recall its ambassador for a while. What changed?
Well, Christine, it may have come as a surprise to many because of President Macron's consistently insisting that they were not going to leave. But when you take a look at the sequence of events that have happened with the protests at the embassy, the ambassador basically being isolated in the embassy and not allowed to leave, or nobody being allowed to leave or come in from the embassy. when you take a look at the alliance that has been formed by
they've been trying to get to his
countries, West
Yeah,
African
you see
countries
that
along the
door.
Sahel, talking about Niger and Mali, it was clear that these countries were not backing down, and Niger had put up a solid front against France, insisting that France should leave. So,
so the president of France is like, y'all punks and pussies, but Nigerian people are like, nah, bro, we've been trying to get your ass out of that damn.
You look at that building.
They've been, hey, bro, they've been taking, those people been taking shots at that building for
Them
a
rocks,
while,
though.
bro. They trying
Them
to
look
get,
like
bro,
rocks, though.
Whatever they, bro, they got some arms over there, bro. We need to go get them in a. Those are the real brick throwers.
Yeah, because bullets would have probably hit the stucco too, but I think those the people. That's probably coming from those people. And because that door, it was just like some fire was set on it. It wasn't like it was rammed by like the government stuff.
That's heat.
I think that was the people, the average citizens.
They're trying to get in and set that bill. Listen,
get them out.
At some point, they're gonna have to just recognize. Listen, bro.
Them people want them gone.
Them people want you out, and I said, once you starve out, and see, here's a scary thing. I want y'all to your mind from me and Mike. How much of an open arms do you think the American populace will open its arms to China and Russia if they were to do the same thing here?
Mm-mm.
You don't got to answer in the chat. I just want y'all to understand that. What the mindset of right now. See, I know the devil's here. I don't know the devil's out there.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, with the way that it's all been disseminated right now, you best believe. You can best believe. They watch the news. They watch Fox, C-SPAN, all the stuff. They watch YouTube. They watch all y'all videos.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should have known that they collected information. So don't think if they can't do it to Africa, your Pan-Africanism, your the divestment, runaway, getaway spot. What do you think they're gonna do when they get here?
Yep. See, like I said, like this. These countries, I mean, especially China. Now, China has the population to like literally take over and run your whole system. Russia don't got the population for that, and they don't have the real culture to actually get in there and run your whole system because they don't have their people. But what they can do is, and the reason why the problem with the folks in Africa though is because they have been colonized for centuries now, basically, and so they actually have been bred. They don't even realize a lot of us, and it's in us too. So I ain't gonna lie, because we was enslaved and stuff, so we got some of this thinking too. But there are certain things that we just habitually do as courtesy that is like it's like a gumroad to slave me, please enslave me. You basically sending slave signals to other countries. You're like, oh, France is messing with us. Can you help us, protect us? So if somebody else is protecting you, then they control you. If you don't create the capacity to protect and run your own system and contract yourself, you cannot control yourself. But people don't see that. They're thinking like, oh, they got firepower. They can help. They can. I mean, and I've literally, African people have told me stuff like this. They said these type of stuff, and like I said, I got kicked off of panels because I pointed that out. Like, you sitting up here relying on a whole nother man to come in. See, what you're doing is inviting them in, to protect you. You stupid. To get this other guy out. What's wrong with your little young men? Y'all scared to shoot Jesus or something? Or what's wrong? I don't understand it. I don't know.
It's going to be quite a thing. It's all right, Shanto. Like I said, we appreciate your comments. Anybody's welcome to come up and have a conversation with me and Super Mike. Listen, we don't attack, but we do have thought provoking conversations. We actually were supposed to have this yesterday.
Yeah,
we chose a more appropriate time. I want to give Mike and me. I want to get more information, so that way me and Mike can have this conversation. I know this is something that y'all want to talk about, the latest gossip of rappers, all the other shit. Listen. I it ain't gonna matter. Y'all think China and Putin, they don't even like rap and all the other shit.
Oh, you see what they did to Brittany Griner? They proved like, hey, we don't care about y'all celebrities.
Yeah, they don't care about that stuff. Brittany, you better hope they don't get over here, Brittany. But you know where they're gonna take your ass. They throwing your ass right back in jail. They're throwing you right back, girl. This is shit. Don't worry, you gotta wait for now, Brittany. We'll be over there soon.
Well, they got a gulag thing. Let me say some history real quick, because like I was saying, but this is another thing. I said like this. Hey, like I said, it's not clear cut who the bad guy is now. Because to me, like you said, we know the devil over here, we don't know that one. At the same time, though, we can do a lot of stuff that our groups, and I'll say I'm gonna say it like this. Okay, you got the Black American groups, you got the Islanders and stuff, Black folks down there and different types of groups. Dang, my son just fell out the chair. Anyway, but so we got these little patterns where we want to have other groups of people come in, and we want them to be our police, we want them to be our teachers, we want them to be our just run our businesses for us. If we don't even have a desire to do that stuff ourselves, we'd be like, oh, just bring the Chinese people into the Caribbean island. Bring the Indian people over here and let them run the big complicated businesses. We could go play and dance and stuff and rap and
I told y'all Negroes not to get rid of affirmative action. I told y'all not to get rid of that shit. There's a reason for everything we got, but y'all,
it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for us to even get to the mentality where we gotta be in order to be able to. We don't even want to take care of ourselves. We be laughing at that stuff. We be like, man, I'm about to go to Suki with the Hot Coochie concert at Morris Brown University, the historically Black college. We want to invite Sexy Red and Suki booty eating woman to perform in front of our college students. This is the kind of people we want in the environment in college here. This is, it's gonna take a while for us to even see that's not smart. We arguing over that. You see how many toes Deion Sanders got left?
Man,
what are y'all talking about? It's about a nuclear war happening. You about to be changing paymasters. That's why that's probably why they're letting in so many of these
I always wondered that
immigrant
they always talk about the Latin immigrant, but they never talk about the Russian or European immigrant or the Chinese immigrant. They always just show that of the Latin immigrant. I never see them show the other one. And I'm trying to let y'all know, if y'all don't think that ain't getting across over here.
Yeah, definitely. Look. Right down here, they have I'll say it like this, one thing about it in this California thing, because there's so many of these different peoples and they got big communities, AAPIs and stuff. They do talk a little bit about that. They caught one group of people, like they caught one group. They died. Basically, they was in a little truck. Basically, it was 25 of them packed up in a truck. They took out all the seats, everything, and they packed. But it was like the Koreans, and it was like Russians, and it was different little Slavic types people. It was like 25 of them packed in a truck that came through the Mexican border. But everybody that comes through that border is not Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, and not Latin types. A lot of those people be from different spots, Ukraine and all this other stuff. So yeah, they be coming through. These people sat up here and had an accident on the freeway, and like 11 of them died. It was 25 of them packed them in that car. So they be trying to get that green car or whatever. They just want to get over here.
Let me go ahead and get through this, but we got some other videos.
Many people, it really wouldn't come as a surprise, but of course, we would have to wait and see what the impact of this will be.
It's no doubt a blow to France, but how will this impact Niger and the wider region?
Well, France has been in Niger for a long time now,
Just say they call it
military, intervention in Niger was basically to fight against terrorism. But as we've seen in recent years, the security situation in the region continues to get worse. But of course, when you look at the importance of Niger in terms of security in the region of West Africa, Niger is one of the most important countries. Is landlocked. We have 7 countries bordering Niger. We also have like the biggest US drone base in Niger as well. So that may be worrying for the international community, being that now France is out of the picture, has pulled out from Niger.
And to that point then, Flourish, how has the regional bloc ECOWAS reacted to this news?
Well, we're still waiting to hear more reactions from ECOWAS. This was an announcement that was just recently made. Of course, ECOWAS as a bloc condemned the coup, suspended Niger from ECOWAS, and just applied the usual what will I call it now, punishment against Niger. But ECOWAS also insisted that Niger, the coup plotters basically hand over back to the democracy. They condemned the coup and, threatened to intervene, but of course we haven't seen much action from the part of ECOWAS.
All right, that's DW correspondent Flourish Ubanyu reporting for us there. As always, Flourish, thank you very much.
So I want y'all to understand as we go to the next video. First off, Russia don't give a shit about no goddamn. Listen, you think Russia or China give a damn about their punishment? They don't. They don't care about none of that stuff. They already done made a promise to Africa that don't worry about them. They can't do shit. They weren't doing shit about France, so they ain't gonna do shit about us. So, and what's crazy? They're gonna be like, all right, cool. Now it's funny because America was trying to get Taiwan.
Yeah.
But they ain't trying to get this. They ain't trying to. They're not. They're not.
See, the weapons now, it looks like this to me from what I'm looking at now, is the weapons are your old enemy. Your old thorn in your side. So like with Russia, they're like, oh, Russia have a problem with these people over here in this Ukraine thing. Oh, they got a problem there. And so now the United States wants to use Russia's little problem that they, their little, whatever their history is that they got. I don't know all the details of what the problem is with Russians and Ukrainians and stuff. But the United States studied that, and so they threw that basically at Putin, and they was going to try to use, like you said, they sent Nancy Pelosi over there, and they was going to use Taiwan because China and Taiwan got a problem of something. Like
threaten their ass to get out.
Yep, they were like, we'll take that over right now. I think they surrounded destroyers. It was like. The island destroyers over there.
Don't
straight up destroyers. They was like, bruh, you don't even come here when we don't let you. And Nancy sat up there and went there and talking to them, talking about we're gonna legitimize them and they're gonna be their own country. They're not a part of China. They was like, what? Okay, y'all want to talk to her? Okay. How many deaths is this going to require for us to teach y'all this lesson?
And what did Taiwan do? Get right back in line. Get right back in
Yes.
line. See, y'all got to understand, man. You're dealing with powers that have no problem say what they say and act on what they say. See, this is when you're dealing with the old guard. This is what happened. This is the old world of men. That's where China and Russia come from. Not this American shit that we dealing with right now. They can care less about your talking. They can care less you throwing it's like you showing a restraining order to an attacker. Like that paper somehow is going to stop that person from coming across that street. If he says he's coming, he's coming. And that's the thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I want you to understand, even when the EU tried to shut off Russia's funds, business continued as usual.
Yeah.
Because they knew what type of government Russia was. The people of Russia knew how Putin gets down. You want to act out? I will gladly put you down in the street in front of everybody. So the same thing goes with China. If y'all think, listen, y'all already see how they handled their own people when COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
You think they won't hesitate on you?
Oh hell, they're gonna be their excuse. They're gonna be like, oh yes, this is what we've been waiting for. They're gonna have all of the tanks, all of the dang on the facilities ready, the little electric fences charged up.
They ready.
That shit, the drone snipers, all that, bro. Like you sit up here playing. This is what we've been waiting for. And you got these little capitalists, the Chinese people, like, from what I see, so, Russia and China is like communist, right?
Yeah.
But China does they does the free market thing, the capitalist thing, but the capitalist little part of China is subservient to the little communism situation. So the communist is the ruler of the day. Ultimately, that's going to win. If it's any kind of dispute, communism, you know what I'm saying? We all own it, bottom line. We'll just take it from you. And that's what they did. Like, I think some people's mad on the stock market because they own stocks in a couple of these Chinese companies, and China didn't like something the CEOs did. They just destroyed the whole industry. It's like, we're just going to take that whole industry over. And all those people's money was gone. And they didn't care.
I'm trying to tell y'all right now, man. You're trying.
They don't care nothing about those stock market.
That stock market shit does not bother me, man. Like it's one of those things where you're dealing with force, and we're going to show you right now what about force. Let's go to this video right here. And we're going to show you about force.
Niger's military rulers have welcomed a decision by France to withdraw its troops from the country. The army, you may remember, ousted the elected president in July, ending Niger's cooperation with France. France used to be the colonial power in Niger. Now, President Emmanuel Macron.
Notice they say colonial power, but we'll continue.
France says that 1,500 French soldiers who were stationed in Niger will leave by the end of this year.
After months of rising tensions and protests, Nigerians demanding the withdrawal of French troops can celebrate. France does not recognize the coup leaders as legitimate.
The only legitimate leader of Niger is President Bazoum, who was elected by his people. Today, he's being held hostage. He's a victim of this coup because he was carrying out brave reforms and because there's ethnic score settling going on. There's a lot of political cowardice there. That's why France has decided to bring its ambassador and several diplomats back to France. We are putting an end to our military cooperation with the current Niger authorities because they don't want to fight terrorism anymore.
People in the capital, Niamey, welcomed the news.
The French military must leave immediately because we don't need them. They've been saying they'd help us for decades, but we haven't seen any change. We want them to leave our country and go home because we are staying.
I'm speaking on behalf of all the people of Niger. We're very proud of the departure of the French army and its ambassador because they've provided nothing here in Niger. They came to at least eradicate terrorism, and terrorism is only getting worse.
Until the takeover by the military junta, Niger was a key security partner for Western countries, including France and the United States. The departure of French forces.
Key department for France and the United States.
Yes.
So I want you to understand there is no coincidence, right, Mike?
That's right.
No coincidence in what they took. I'm telling you right now.
The drones.
Russia is getting bold. They take one country at a time, buddy. One country at a time.
But see, look. So if you notice, that's what I was saying. If you notice that, because the nuclear war situation, they don't want that. So the real war is you're using their old problems against them. That's what's happening. Because like Russia's like, oh, France, our enemy, has a problem over here in with these people here. And so as soon as that problem flares up, here's an opportunity, go in there, and use them now. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, like a lot of people were getting reports how that remember Boko Haram, I think that was something to deal with Nigeria and Niger. And they were saying how France actually made that up so that they have a legitimate reason to be there, because there's no reason for them to even be there. There's no real reason for them to be there. So they had to create a problem that they already had this solution for. Like terrorism is getting worse. And that sounds like crime in the police in our neighborhoods, like all these extra police coming in, but we don't know. We don't know what's happening.
Like I said, let's continue on, boy. Y'all pay attention to the play. Everyone in the chat, pay attention to the play of what's going on. Y'all need to see this now, because everybody's calling them terrorists that are siding with them. But see, what you're watching is they're forming. Russia's like, we'll get rid of your devils, but we get to occupy your area. I'll trade you one devil for the next. Y'all can run your own government. We don't give a shit about all that. But we get to be there. We won't stop y'all, but just know we are watching. So long as we can, y'all gotta understand when somebody's just trying to punk you.
And that uranium, like I said, they got that uranium. That's what Niger. Yeah.
And also we just lost one of the biggest bases.
Yes.
For drone deployment. So that means, guess what? No more surveillance.
But that's what you were saying earlier, though, BMT. You notice that the United States ain't really saying nothing. They're just showing the clips of what France is saying. They letting France stand out front there. The United States ain't even saying nothing because they're actually not being put out. They're just not saying nothing. That's how you also can recognize power, when people just shut up. Like, we don't want to be in that. They don't even want to be in that. That base is still there. Ain't nobody saying, oh, we want the United States to leave too. They just want France out. And the United States is just like,
Y'all pay attention, y'all. I told y'all we're breaking this down for y'all, man.
French forces is likely to heighten concerns about Russia's growing influence in Africa.
That they talk about.
The Wagner mercenary group is already active in Mali, where they are allies of the junta there. But with the mercenary group weakened due to the war in Ukraine and the withdrawal of French forces, there are rising concerns that Islamist groups will make gains in the region.
All right, for more now, I'm joined by Chris Ogun-Modede, the associate editor for World Politics Review in Senegal's capital, Dakar. Chris, it's good to have you with us. There have been rising tensions in Niger in the past few weeks, with Nigerians insisting that French troops get out of the country. I mean, why do they want to see this withdrawal if the troops were there to help with the security situation and the threat against Islamist terrorism?
Well, the answer to the question is that many Nigerians simply do not believe any longer that the presence of French troops necessarily contributes to a better security in their country. You know, there's been a lot of, in the last couple of years, but more so under President Bazoum, who stepped up security relations with the West, with France in particular. There's been many concerns in Niger that the presence of French troops on their soil since last year, when French troops withdrew from neighboring Mali, many Nigerians simply saw that as a compromise on their sovereignty, and the fact that it's, of course, the relationship, dates all the way back to the colonial era. Many of them simply saw it as too bound up in many elements of an unequal partnership that they simply do not want any more of.
And I'm just wondering, Chris, the average person in Niger, what do they consider to be a greater threat to their security? The presence of French troops in the country, or this growing Islamist insurgents?
Well, I mean, for one thing, it's very hard to speak for the average person in Niger. It's a large country. People have very many different views, some of which most of which are nuanced, some of which seem like they're contradictory, but when you understand the politics there, and many would reject the premise of the question and see it really as a binary, because they would argue that there are a bunch of structural conditions that were created by the colonial legacy between France and Niger that have exposed themselves in the security crisis in Niger and the neighboring region. So for many folks, not just in Niamey, but broadly across the country, they see the two things as linked. So they don't quite see it as an either or proposition of, do you want the French presence or do you want the jihadists? They think the two are very much linked in a variety.
I just want y'all to notice for the context that they're saying, and I want you to understand, I have more of a Christian background. But notice how they're saying that they're dealing with Islam jihadists, when a good portion of Africa is Islam.
Right.
How do you say you're dealing with Islam jihadists when a vast majority of Africa in their countries is Islam?
Right. They try to make it seem. See, that's for us to hear. You got to realize they're speaking in English. So this stuff is for us.
That's why and I got to give a shout out to the brother who answered.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah,
he was like, you want me to answer that question? Like, bro, like, you don't even know if I'm Islamic. So what the fuck you saying? Like,
right. That was a little slimy question.
That was a slimy question. Hey, I felt kind of. I was like, wait, what kind of question is that bullshit? Like, hold on, bro. Like, how do you wait?
Yeah, he dodged that because he was like, I'm not gonna speak for the average person. That's the problem. He gonna ask him a question, and like in Western media, you would just make up something. How you gonna say what the average person in a country, a big country, is gonna think? That's stupid. It's a stupid question, really. It's just like, people have various views. You can say, what are some of the views that you've heard, that you can tell us? That would be the better question. You don't say, what is the average person's view? Do they feel that, all 14 million or whatever million people, do they feel that the French presence is more of a threat, or these radical Islamists? Jihadists,
right?
Like, that's scary. that's for English speaking people. You know, that's scary for, because they know they programmed, you know, us to say, oh, that's scary talk.
It's very interesting because, like I said, you're going to their you think Putin shooting down? Hang on, let me see.
Yeah, they got some kind of thing going on in this chat.
Okay, okay. You thinking Putin shooting down plane weekend? If as long as you don't fly over Russia, he won't shoot you down. As long as you don't fly over Russian airspace, he won't shoot you down. Now
Yeah.
without his permission, he's just that type of guy. Like I said, just find it interesting that outsiders, notice they say colonize, or they say colonial. It's crazy that they still use that term colonial, but they don't want to say that France colonized. But then you want to say that the Islamic Africans are jihadists. Now, I understand, y'all, that Sunnis and Shiites, they have different belief systems and backgrounds of history going on over there. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't know, and the thing about it is, you don't know their background of their family histories. You don't know their belief system. You don't know what they're fighting for.
Right.
But the problem is you have people outside that want to dictate and tell them who's the bad guy. It's like funny that now you see online people telling other black folks who's a thug, who's a menace, who's a pookie, who's an educated lame. So you got other people that are dictating who you are as a black person.
Mm-hmm.
When they never even talk to you, sat across the table from you, or will ever even go to the same school as your children or deal with you. Just keep that in the back of y'all mind, y'all.
Yeah, that's that stereotyping stuff.
Ways, some of which can be contested.
There's some jihadists that they talk about.
Historical
I want you to understand. There's them so-called jihadists. They'll tell you that those women are oppressed and being beaten and enslaved, and that
and they need to be dressing like Sexy Red and Suki.
Yeah, mind you, they're
so they
sitting
can be free
out there supporting their country and their woes of their people.
Man, we don't have no idea. See, DMP is so crazy. It actually kind of makes me mad because I say like this. In my mind, I would love for, just to have it in a stable situation so all cultures, people could just actually develop their culture in their area in a nice way where people can visit each other. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff where you got all this unrest and thousands of people saying they want to run away from their own country and go to this country and run all of this crazy stuff and shooting and guns and death and murder and killing and all this stuff. It's like whose policies are these? Like, why are we continuing to trust this type of stuff, man? This stuff is crazy. It can't be this hard. It just is stupid.
Let's press on, y'all. I hope y'all enjoying the show. Please like, share, and subscribe.
And we're seeing French troops withdrawing from the entire Sahel region, including Mali, Burkina Faso. Can we say then that Islamist terrorism will most likely, or at least the threat of it, will increase now with these peacekeeping forces gone?
That is crazy.
Yeah, he listened a little bit of the agenda. It's just like it's so he's not even trying to hide it. He
never seen the video, so
yeah, me neither. This is
I had to throw this one at Mike. Mike, I'll send this one to you.
Yeah,
but I know you might want to cover this on Saturday on
Right.
your channel because
No, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something too, just real quick though. Like, I'm gonna start. I do got a little history channel. Like I said, I've been working. I ain't really been doing all that stuff. But the thing is, this was kind of the history I was actually reading. It was so funny because it's this. Like I was reading this book. I don't know, The Devil's Chessboard. It's basically about the CIA, Allen Dulles, and that kind of thing. But make a long story short, I was actually on that part where Russia and the Nazis was fighting, right? And like people don't really understand that. Okay, so the United States had this thing called Operation Paperclip. They got the Nazis out of Nuremberg. So some Nazis, they was evil, of course. They was racist. They decided to do this thing called the final solution and kill all of these Jews. They sterilized these black people, call them Rhineland bastards. They was doing all kind of crazy stuff with the Nazi situation. But they was real good at engineering. Some of them was good at science, and they had all these weird science experiments. They would experiment on people. That's what made their experiments so much more advanced, because they would just experiment on people. They wouldn't use animals. They're just using people straight up, like, you know what I'm saying? Drugs, all sorts of stuff, mind control, all kind of weird stuff. So they had all these records, and all of these other countries wanted those records. So the Russians kidnapped a bunch of them, but they made them work in the gulag. All of the Nazi scientists, the Russians kidnapped, and Russia didn't really get as much out of their Nazi scientists, right? But the United States kidnapped and grabbed about 1,600 of them, different people too. And so that was Operation Paperclip, and they're in society, so they're running things. They're just American now. They didn't punish those people at all. They just kind of integrated them and made them work in science laboratories, took all their records, and let them continue their experiments, on other types of people, maybe more local people. So that's what happened. And so that's kind of like what we don't understand. Like, but the Russians actually, that's why when people know the history, like those Russians was actually the ones that they can't stand Nazis. So it's like they don't have that kind of that colonizing culture. They're white people, but they only colonize other white people. I'll say it like that, because I was talking to some of them, those Polish people and all these other ones that's over there. Some of them don't like Russians because they feel like they took their land. But I noticed that they only do that to other folks that basically look like them. They incorporate them and want all of them to be the USSR. That's really what they want. So that's kind of nuts and bolts. They don't have that kind of situation where they're trying to colonize and make, they just don't do it like that. Russia do it a different way. And that's one thing that the Western countries, they hate that. They don't want it. They don't want that communism. They don't want nothing like that, because it's not about banking. That communism messes up the capitalist banks and all, saying the businesses and stuff. So that's why they hate that. They like, if Russia was over here, Wall Street is done. New York, nope. That whole thing gone. They're gonna break that whole thing up. All that New York stuff, the banking, all that crap, they breaking all that. So that's the reason why Silicon Valley, you use your science for the good of the Iron Curtain. That's it. So that's how they do it.
Or does that get back to this binary situation you were describing?
Well, I should point out that French troops are still in Chad, which is in the Sahel. There's no discussion of what will come next there as well. There's no telling what will happen there. But more to the question you're asking, I think for many, not just in Niger but across the region, there is a sense of which they recognize the difficulties that are likely to come up with the departure of French troops, but at the same time, they do point out that with the presence of French troops, the security didn't get better. So at the end of the day, what have they really gained in terms of the partnership with France? And perhaps this is an opportunity for local and regional security and political elites to finally think very deeply, not just about the security situation, but more broadly about building a proper state that can secure lives and bring more prosperity to people.
Chris Ogunmodedo from the World Politics Review in Dakar. Chris, good to have you with us. Thank you.
Hey, BMT, are you on mute?
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thanks for catching that for me. Shout out to you for catching that. Okay. I want you to understand the brother never answered that that interviewer's question about the Muslims because he knew it was a bullshit question. It was crazy. Like, he's crazy that he kept on asking about, so what do y'all think about the Muslims that are in your area? Okay, you're going to ask me about that, but France ain't doing shit. So, yeah, they can go because you don't even know my religion. Now, I want you to understand, this is coming from people that are literally in America or any other country. You talk about their religion or their preference of, you know, small hats and all the other stuff, they'll jump on your ass. You can bang down on their group or what you call jihadists. But see, that's what I said. They get to choose. They get to choose.
For you.
For
yep.
you. Who's the bad guy? What the bad guys look like? What the bad guys look like?
I feel like it's like a dog. You know how you tell your dog sick 'em?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they feel like towards us or towards the average people. Like they use that media and they're like, look, bag, you know, and you're like, the dog don't know you, but you the enemy now. You see what I'm saying? And I think that maybe their propaganda didn't really work as well as they feel like it should have worked. Something's going on over there where some different messaging has come to those people because they didn't make the decision. Like whatever the formula that France used to keep people kind of not understanding what's going on, something different happened. I don't know if they got the internet. I don't know if they got Twitter, whatever they got. Something, you know, they started to question. Like, is this really working for us? We can do something different by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want that to really spread across Africa. And keep in mind, they might leave immediately, so it looked like an immediate victory. Oh, but they're definitely going to be sabotaging because they're very spiteful and vindictive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can't let that succeed. You know what I'm saying? They gotta put some salt in the game. They gotta send a spy in there. They gotta, you know, feed Boko Haram some extra money, give them some extra guns, and you know, do some real acts of terror.
They're gonna try. See, that's what I'm looking at for France to start trying to do their little French spy shit to start up some kind of see, Russia can't handle that. And see, what I'm telling y'all right now, man, y'all are dealing with mercenaries and ex-KGB.
Yep. Yes.
They want you. Y'all, if y'all don't think Putin don't know how y'all play, you're playing with the right one. Y'all think that, oh, we're in China. Yeah, Diderot, definitely come on up, bro. Mm-hmm. I know you talk about Burkina Faso and all of them. Listen, this is something that you need to talk to, especially about with a lot of Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, coming up.
This is something like again, they're making power moves. So we're gonna y'all want I saved this one for last. It's the last video that we have in the chamber. Which y'all want to know what's going on with America. Is America saying anything about Russia making moves over Russia hold over Niger? Because that's literally what it is. They're not shaking about it. And if y'all think Putin fears Biden, y'all out of y'all fucking mind. Y'all out of y'all damn mind if y'all think that man fears that man. He know that man could be blown over or some shit. But we're gonna go ahead and
He
play.
fall every week. The man fall. He gonna crack his skull in a little bit.
I don't know why. I don't know if he's gonna make it, bro.
I don't think so.
Biden gonna make it, bro. And if y'all think Kamala
And
Harris,
Kamala, she's gonna be strong. Kamala will protect us.
shit, shit, boy, y'all. Listen, there's a reason why China and Russia are making these moves so quickly. Y'all better start paying attention, man. All right, let's go ahead and get at this. Now, I want y'all to understand this. Them mercenaries that are in Africa are training up the Africans, teaching them how to shoot, teaching them how to maneuver, giving them vehicles, giving them rations, paying them. And it scares the EU. I want you to understand that it scares them. Because, see, Russia's doing something that is a U.S. playbook. You equip the people and you sit back and you fund them to go fight whatever they want to go do. See, they're not technically fighting. They just gave you the tools to fight and trained you to go fight.
Yeah, they just found indigenous people that's already there
that are angry.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I said. They're using your problems and they're just making them bigger for you, basically.
So I want you to get that.
It's crazy, man. And you know what's so interesting too? I just wanted to point this out before you go. It's so funny how, like, anytime you see the TV or footage in Africa or the cameras, they just look like less quality.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. Like, it's just like the footage. As soon as you turn to Africa, it's like even the angle and the lens of the camera, the way it's shot. It just, I don't know why they do that. Like, I know they can get the right cameras to, I don't know, it's just weird. But anyway.
Mike can be an asshole, y'all.
Yeah.
There's those mercenaries just sitting all over. I think what happened and what continues to happen in Nigeria was not instigated by Russia or by Wagner, but they tried to take advantage of it. Oh, they will. Well, they will. You just know y'all can't openly call them out, but you know what they're doing. I get it. And honestly, we did it in Egypt. We pushed for them to have a coup.
Yeah, just like in Libya. That was the thing. And I think even Putin, he's like, oh, y'all killed Gaddafi. it was something he was saying that I forgot something. Basically, he was saying that was messed up the way they did that, and he shouldn't have been killed or something like that. But yeah, that's what they did. They just these people, they don't like Gaddafi. They're angry. They're already okay. Teach them how to shoot. Give them some guns and help them out.
Yep. I just want y'all to understand. Fun fact: the original Taliban was trained by CIA operatives. That's not a hypothetical guess. That's a fact.
Oh yeah, they admit that now, I think.
Yeah, we trained them. Trained them by Green Berets and Special Forces. How do you think they were so good at mountain warfare? Besides, they knew that they know their own mountains. So yeah. So I want you to understand they're keeping track that wherever Russia goes, they literally leave behind mercenary groups that occupy that space. Spoke to Nigerian President Bozeman to express our continued efforts to find a peaceful resolution to the current constitutional crisis. The United States reiterates our call for the immediate release of him and his family.
He got the country wrong, but I guess that's the Nigerian. It's like Nigerian, but I guess it's not Nigerian.
They don't give a fuck how they don't give a fuck
because it's two different countries.
And then they just at the end of the day they just see a nigger. That's all they see.
That's what it's spelled. That's how he spelled it. Like
they don't give a damn.
You know, they named those countries. You know that, right? They actually named the Spanish. People named those. I think it was Spain. It was a Spanish woman and some other thing. But yeah, they named those countries. That was so interesting. How you gonna sit up there and let this other outsider who colonizes you hate you, and you're gonna keep that? But I mean, I understand. It's, like I said, it's not easy. It's a process.
Now they're in West Africa. So
look at that national pride. Look how proud they are.
Viva la Russia. Viva la Niger. Nigerians.
Headless Nigerians. Yeah. I guess they're just like, but look how they put that Russia at the top. In your own country. I don't know. But anyway.
Hey, listen, bro. The savior. The white savior.
See, this is why I said, like, somebody put in the chat. Somebody put in the chat like a question like, Russia's white? Yeah, they're white. They just don't act like the Western white guy, but they white. Because they, but that's the problem. That's their problem. That's what's been the big problem for all of these centuries with Russian type people. The Western white guy have a different idea of how it should go. And that's it.
Like I said, understand, man, these people, they want They found their new Aryan blue-eye Dragov. They found their Dragov. They found, and I want you to understand this. They're not just in Nigeria. They're going to Mali.
Yep.
The Central African Republic. Y'all don't. I told y'all they are occupying spaces in Africa.
In South Africa.
So
did you see even what's his name? Which I do like him, the EFF dude. I forgot that guy's name. Dang, it'll come up. Anyway, damn. Anyway, the EFF down in South Africa, they was like, oh, we will get off, we will defend Putin from the airport. We will go send troops to fight with
I gotta
Putin.
find that video, man.
What's this man's name? Damn, Malema, that's his name. Malema, he said that. But yeah, Russia is competing in Africa because that's the battleground. I mean, that's the battleground, y'all. Because it's like all the materials. You gotta realize they got to get to the next level. Oh, did you see that city in Saudi Arabia that they building called the Line?
I gotta look that up. I heard about that, man.
Yeah, look that up, and you're gonna be like, wow, they building that. That's where people are gonna live. All that stuff you see on Star Wars and Star Trek and all that, that's what they making. They got top physicists and all these type of people. Yeah, that thing looking, and the whole thing is like a big old mirror, and it's gonna be absorbing, sunlight and all that stuff. Yeah. So the thing is, but the world is actually like advancing, and we're starting to look like little backwater woods types of little. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were they were the third world, and we were so advanced a while. Now it's gonna be like we sitting up here, third world, and backwater. So it's like, yeah, the whole world the whole world needs those minerals to get to the next level of advancement. And that's where that stuff is in Africa. And they need to mine it. You know what I'm saying? But so that's the situation there. But see, the thing is though, you gotta realize with the white guys, the Western white guys mentality, to them it's over. If they take a resource from an indigenous group of people, they cannot let those people benefit. They just can't do it. That's not their way. You know what I'm saying? And to them, let's say they give you a fair deal, okay, they can pay a few sellouts. That ain't nothing. But if they like actually do something and let the people actually benefit from it, that's just not their way. They can't do it. For some reason, they will not do a fair deal with people and just do it the right way. And so, yeah, that's the problem. And Putin and China, they recognize that, oh, that's a weakness. So all they got to do is go into Africa and be like, hey, we're going to give you a fair deal. You know what I'm saying? Here, you want some guns to defend your city and your little place or whatever. We're going to teach you how to use these advanced weaponry. And the Africans like, yeah, hell yeah. And okay, we're going to build you a railroad or something. That's all they got to do to win against the Western white guy. Because the Western white guy is like these guys, to them, you're not supposed to benefit. You're like an animal. You're part of the land. They own you. That's how they feel at that level. Not talking about your average white person. We're talking about these rich white families, these people who make all these big moves. They feel like that. They like, y'all, I don't even talk to things like y'all. So now that's what's happening.
Mike go hit the way.
No, because that's their mentality. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there were rumors. I want you to know, see, that's their savior. I want y'all. So when y'all,
he dead though. He dead.
He dead now. Oh, he dead. This man before Putin, before Putin, mind you, him and Putin had issues.
Yeah.
But Putin
Putin
sent
killed
him
him.
on one last mission.
Killed his ass.
And listen, I told y'all, Putin built different, y'all. Putin has no problem.
He'll kill your shit. He don't care.
I tell y'all, listen, they had an interview with this guy. We heard that President Putin is upset with you. That's fine. I'll still complete my mission. All of a sudden, 2 days later, this man died. Listen, y'all. y'all gotta understand, man. There's a reason why people fear Putin, bro. There's a reason why people fear Putin, man. Like he got no problem getting rid of his own people, bro. Y'all think y'all gonna get some type of love treatment for him, man?
Nah. Oh no. Once they solidify, see, and even that's what the problem was with African people. And okay, so right now he's coming in, he's helping you out because right now you got this little immediate problem with France and all this other stuff. You got these little problems, right? And he's, creating these little solutions for you. But, because you're a slave in slave mentality and you're satisfied with other people doing stuff that you should be doing for yourself, like defense and, like growing your food and all this kind of selling you stuff and creating your inventions and all that kind of stuff. Since you become dependent, because that's what slaves do. They just become dependent. And then, and now, oh, you're dependent now. Now that's when the squeeze is going to come on. That's when the terms and the dictating and all this sort of stuff happens. Because, and then the disrespect. And then all this other stuff comes. This is when the racism, or what you feel like is racism, comes, and all the hatred and all that kind of stuff comes. Because to them, they start to look at you like something wrong. You stupid. Why y'all doing it? Why y'all not doing this yourself? Y'all dumb. Yeah, we wouldn't let y'all come and do this for us. We're not going to let y'all do this in our country. But we can do this all in your country, and you would literally invite us to do this stuff.
I want you to understand, he's dead, but they're still there in Africa.
Yeah.
I want you to understand, he's dead. Wagner, the head is dead. His fortune, they don't know who's running it.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, his mercenary, all his army,
still moving. Yep.
Still moving like nothing changed.
Yeah.
They're still taking orders from somebody in Russia, and guess what? They're still loyal to Putin.
That's it.
And the thing about it is, you think the Nigerians or anybody in Africa is ordering them? No, they're not.
Mm-mm.
They listen to them.
See,
not the other way around. Y'all go look it up like me and Mike did. They're walking around there, and nobody's fighting them. Nobody arguing. They can walk in and out of political buildings. They have access to all
the Wagner group.
The Wagner group.
And that's all they call them. Like, you understand, like, how you going to have just some group? And that's it. And you're like a country. Like, man, people don't even think. This is crazy. It's just crazy to me. But, people don't see a threat. They don't understand this is how your whole situation get taken over. Because a lot of us, all we thinking about is bombs and guns and missiles, right? And being beat up right immediately. No, they leech in and latch on. They're thinking like, okay, in 50 years, okay, in 70 years, this is the instructions for our kids 70 years from now. Putin don't care about none of that. If somebody kill him, the whole situation, the machine gonna keep going. That's how they think, them Russians. They think like that. It's like, okay, my life. That's communist thinking. It's not individualistic. It's group. They think, oh, the means of production is owned by the state. My life is but of the state. The state, the country, the mother Russia. All that kind of thing. They think that, We be like, oh shoot, I need to take care of myself. I need to get me some guns so I can take care of my stuff. We're thinking my. They're thinking the group. China thinks like the group. You have no chance. You don't got no chance. Because y'all, it's gonna take some years for people here to even understand the differences there.
And I just want y'all to see, just for a side, so I want y'all to understand this, how deep it goes. Hang on, let me. I got you, Mike. Wagner Group, private military corporation. Wagner is a Russian state-funded private military company. Like I said, what is the Wagner Group in Russia? Wagner Group has used infrastructure of the Russian armed forces. Evidence suggests that the Wagner has been used as a proxy by the Russian government, allowing it to have plausible deniability for military. So, like I said, they're their own ops, dude. If y'all don't think these dudes do not answer to Putin, they're like his own little death squad. And listen, they operate in many. Where do you see a Negro in there?
They're here. They're sitting up in the United States. You remember that? Just to show you, like the movie. What was that movie with Michael B. Jordan? And he was a soldier. Whatever. I'm not good at remembering movie names and stuff, but he was a soldier, and basically he had to do a hit. They had to do an op somewhere overseas, but he wasn't told that these were Russians that he was hitting up. And you remember that movie? You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I get what you're saying. We got to pull it up, bro. We got to pull it up. I just want y'all to see they have many different flags. And I want y'all to understand this. You're not going to see any other group inside of their group. These are trained operatives that have a deep pocket. The fact that y'all do not want to recognize who these guys are, they are in almost every country now.
They're here too. In the United States. They're working. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of people don't want to do certain things because they can touch you everywhere. And that's the reason why I'm real suspicious about all of these fires in refineries. There was like fires. There's like all these weird fires in these production facilities and stuff. You know, they're not really showing it all over the country. Like, you know, we had the train derailment, and then there was a big warehouse fire, some production facility up there in Ohio.
Y'all to see now, and just showing y'all, see how they train other people to follow them.
Yep.
They'll send in a little bit of their group to train other people to train under them, and then guess what happens? Now they already have. They don't have to send their whole group. See, that's scary because they know they go to countries that are starving out, and then they put their asses to work. Again, there are plenty of them. I know a lot of y'all like to believe. This is why I said the enemy is closer than y'all think, and they're having fun. Right now, they're having fun out there because they know sooner or later, I can promise you, if Putin would have hit boots on ground, they would quickly turn and salute that man.
That's right.
They would salute Mother Russia right there on the spot.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just trying to let y'all know this is not to disparage y'all, but y'all do need to understand, like when me and Mike go into these type of lessons, that we're trying to let y'all know that this talking point about worry about China's playing the financial game. Russia's playing the string game of pulling the strings at people that are angry.
Yeah, the military stuff.
Right. So one part And we're gonna go. I think we'll have to take some time. We can set up a day where we can look at the Chinese side.
Yeah.
But China is now playing the financial part.
Mm-hmm.
Russia is playing the hey, why are you angry? Why are you angry, Haiti?
Yeah.
Because France keeps it's okay. We'll help you.
See? Yeah. And they're gonna be down there in Venezuela. Like they got those Russia got them supersonic bombers down there, and they was mad at Maduro down there for letting them land there. That's why Trump was talking about Maduro and installing that other dude last year or whatever. Remember that whole fiasco down there in Venezuela when they froze they Valero oil assets up here, and Nicolas Maduro, he was so-called the bad guy, whatever. See, all that stuff, all that stuff is connected, man. This stuff, we're just, the only reason why I talk about these things is to me, I feel like I said, it all boils down to this. Look, you got to start understanding that your group, we do have a group now. We're weak. Okay. So we are weak now. So I ain't going to say we all super strong and everything.
I'd rather you tell the truth.
Yeah, but we're just weak though. That's all. We have a group. We do have a group of us. There isn't us. But see, we're so weak that we're trying to make other people us. And they're not trying to be you, and you don't want to be you. So they're just gonna keep stealing from you every generation because you're not trying to consolidate your stuff. And I want to touch on that point that me and you was talking to about. Just like, for example, when they take over our little land where we live, right? We'll buy some land. Let's say a group of us. For some reason, it seemed like they always want to find out where the black folks been living, where they own some land. And then they sit up here, oh, you got a family, y'all own a little acreage here? Okay, we're going to find one family member that's going to sell out, and we're going to buy the whole damn thing up. It's like they get a kick out of taking the land from the black people. So what they end up doing is, but we got to start trying to insulate that. They take, like you were saying, like they take over like a municipality. They get into the zoning departments. They get into your what do you call that? The all of the city planning and the rule making bodies in that area, and then they start making the rules that make it easy for them to take your property and your territory and your own family land, so you can't stay stable. So those are the type of stuff that I think that's the reason why I like talking about these type of subjects, because it shows us that a big change is coming. And true enough, we know how the old white people been doing it, but it's going to be some new people in town. And if you don't start consolidating and protecting your little numbers, keeping your community going, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to kind of weather some of this stuff, is you're going to have a group who knows what group they are about. And then when one get attacked, then yeah, that's the only way you can do it. Because a couple people with a few little guns, that ain't gonna do nothing, man. Hey,
not what's coming down the pipe now.
Not that level. That's good enough to protect you from a robber or stuff like that. But this stuff here, you're gonna have to have a group of people that's family, that's friends, that actually live in close areas with each other, that when something happens, a proper response can happen. And people got, oh shit, we can't just take the old woman's land over there because we got all this pushing back on us. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be a proper response. And that's why I say what I say, because we don't see the value of actually, talking more into, kind of getting ourselves together and stop all of this, all of this stuff where we be, how we talk.
I got. Like I said, this is just because we giving them a good lesson. We're about to wrap it up soon, and so we're going. So y'all get to see this. Don't worry, we will go over
the China stuff. Yeah,
China stuff, and also we need to go. I want you to understand group power. That's going. I'm gonna have to. We gotta sit down with Mike and have a lesson plan on some of the conversations, because how some of these groups are playing it, they're playing group power.
And see, this is where, man, if we could get that little lesson, to me, I feel like it would only take a good 10 years of good little decent group little power of a nice amount of people, man. You can get some things done, you can get some things done.
I don't know if we're gonna have 10 years, bro. Not anymore. Not the rate that these guys are coming. And they like I said, I'm just trying to let y'all know they're not coming how y'all think they're coming. Everybody who sees them, and you know it's crazy, they walk in with guns, but they get hugs.
That's right. See, God, man, we don't even see this thing. That's what our point. That's the power of media.
Guns, but they get hugs and kiss. They get hugs and praise. You're getting stuff like "Viva la Russia," like "Save us, Russia," like you're
even on this channel. You seen right earlier? Somebody said, "Who?" David said, "Russia is not the enemy."
Russia's not the enemy.
Didn't somebody say that on this chat just now?
I'm trying to tell y'all right now, the orders that they got, they're not. Like, I respect from one soldier to another. I respect Putin, but I also understand Putin doesn't have to or care to respect me or Mike.
Right.
He doesn't care to.
He don't have to, because not right now. Let's say this. I'll say it this way: immediately, because he needs something. See, the thing is, as Black folks and even the African people, because, like I said, you've been suppressed so much over so many, to make it easy to control you. You have to suppress your self-esteem and your group esteem, so that way it's easy to control you. So Putin sees, oh, look at that. They're just sending easy little signals, like that, for us to just take over everything they got. But they don't see it. So, like I said, but he needs you. See, the African people is a lot. I don't think they probably know that he wants the uranium, which they don't care about giving. But he needs something else, because actually the Black folks are the key to Putin's enemy. You're actually the secret weapon. You're actually more stronger than the nuclear bomb, because you could take this whole situation out just by your loyalty change, because you are the resource. You are the renewable resources of the Western countries. You're the group that we can steal from every generation. We can overcharge you taxes. We can put you in jail and take all your little bail money. We can do these things to you in your group, and we can do it every generation. And it sends us to college. It allows us to build all of our stuff. We can, take advantage of your little raps and little songs and stuff y'all make. And we could just do all this stuff with y'all. And we don't want to lose that now. So now that Putin's kind of taking that away from, now in Africa, they can even take their little resources. So now that once you take that from France, France doesn't have no resources there. They don't have nothing there. What can they do? What they gonna do without that uranium? What they gonna do without that labor? What they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? That's huge. That right there is worse than any bomb, because now you sending them into poverty, and that's what the U.S. is looking. Yeah, the U.S. is like, we're looking very closely at this and worried. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to get this thing to get a trend.
But the thing about it, I'm gonna talk about it later, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk about it later. I'm gonna have to show y'all a picture. Like, in all reality, we don't have the soldiers anymore like that. And
Right.
one time we used to train men to be men.
See?
But now men more worried about being women or laying down and being catered to as the woman and children.
But BMT, what if Biden announces all of those who are immigrants who came to this country, if you join our armed forces and you come through our armed forces and help us to defeat communism and defeat tyranny over there overseas, you will be 100% citizens and full citizens of this United States.
It's too late for that, bro.
You don't think they'll join?
At that point, it would have worked, but because we're so far down this trajectory now, I mean, shit, man. It's just, but I was there. And goddamn at FTX, man. This guy barely spoke a lick of English.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into the military?
Yeah.
They promised me
Citizens.
if I joined, they'd give me and my family green cards.
Green card.
What?
That's it. Risk my life. Die for that.
I'm sitting there eating MREs and sitting out there trying to survive in the wilderness. This motherfucker came over here on asylum through goddamn
GPS.
Yeah, and
Whatever.
Coyotes and sex slave trafficking, and he's in the military with me, and I'm like,
Yep.
what the hell?
Yep. He's not, and see, like I said, it's done. Now that's why I keep saying the same thing. I know people would be like, man, Mike, just keep talking that crazy stuff. Look, the solution. I know.
Show up now.
But
the crazy people start to sound normal now.
That's my point, because the solution is going to boil down, and that's why you got to keep repeating the solution, because it is actually boring. The solution is actually easy to say, and people don't believe it because it's too easy. It doesn't seem like it's going to work. But all you got to do is start focusing in on yourself, your family, strengthening your group. That's what you focus on. So just like these other people, they go out there, they get money to bring back to their group. That guy that was in the military for you, he was sacrificing himself. He wasn't sacrificing himself for the ideals of American and the democracy and the founding fathers and the Constitution and all these different things and all that. He was like, my family could use this green card thing. And we can start a business and we can have a good life.
That was the only thing that kept them going.
That's it.
When we were telling ourselves, when we were laying under that damn truck trying to keep cool, trying to keep warm, in that freezing cold weather, around that exhaust pipe, we said, let's tell each other stories to keep our mind off the pain. He started telling, he said, I'm here because I want my sister to go to school.
See,
and I want my mama to be able to live and to be able to have her first bed. And I just looked at him, but he was so serious. And
that's right.
Said, I knew then, Mike, that dude was going to make it because his ideal of why he was pushing himself. Me, I was there for money.
That's it.
But he was there for some holier self-sacrifice.
He believed that. And the thing is, and guess what? His thing. But see, we don't. That's why like I said, I like the histories thing, because our people who was in the Civil War and all that stuff and all these different little wars, that's what they was doing. They was sacrificing with that kind of stuff in that mind.
We're gonna have to. We gotta write down the stuff, Mike. These talk about.
Yeah.
There's a difference of a person who's fighting for what they believe versus somebody who just doing it for self. And I'm just trying to let y'all know, boy, them people that believe that this is why the U.S. knew we weren't gonna ever beat the Taliban, because they were fighting for a belief,
right?
Not for no kind of fun, not for no money, not for none of that stuff. They believe it. And here's the thing about it: as soon as we left Afghanistan, Guess what happened? Taliban came right back in full effect.
Right, took over right away because they, you know what I'm saying? That's to them. That's they just like you said, full effect.
We didn't beat them. They just said, "Oh, what you got with y'all leave?"
That's it.
All are gonna make y'all leave. And
That's it.
We left.
Yep. And then don't kill them. Don't, because it's other stuff y'all gonna have to worry about, and then y'all can leave. And even in Afghanistan, there's a bunch of minerals too out here. That
yes, there is. It's tungsten. It's stuff that we need for our cell phones, our computers, everything that we use that is technological. And now, even in our cars, you need tungsten.
See,
guess what? Those mountains over there have all the tungsten. And you know what? Now, China and Russia have it.
There you go. They made a deal. See, they didn't go fighting. They made a deal.
It wasn't about them fighting them. It wasn't about them getting no shootout. It wasn't about them trying to do no hearts and minds or set up a base. They said, "Hey, man, y'all need a check. We got y'all with the check."
That's it. See, and that's the thing. That's what I said. You know, that's what's happening now, and that's the reason why. Now, this is my question before we go and all that stuff to you. Now, we know how these people think over there in Washington and all that, whatever, and the business people or whatever, whoever's running the big show. So they got these nuclear weapons. How much territory, how many little battles are they going to lose to China and Russia before they say, you know what, it's time to go hot. We're going to go full force, nuke hot, whatever we got to do, MOB. We need to start bringing some straight up direct. Let's just take it. Because like right now, it's like a little chess checker thing. And they're like strategic this and strategic that. Oh man, we lost the Afghanistan thing. Okay, we can do the African thing because, you know what I'm saying, we got more than enough stuff there. But now you're losing the little pieces of African stuff.
So put it like this. So I'm gonna give it to you simple. For you to get to that king, he's now creating pawns. He has African countries now.
See?
He has Chinese countries. He has people that are now willing to lay down their life for his belief. So if you were to attack him, you would be considered the white devil that he wants you to be. So at this expense now, you have to just sit back and watch. Because your imagery of what you've been doing as a colonial empire, those other minorities, see, Russia understands that those colonial empires, them children of slaves is growing. See, at some point, Joseph, the first pharaoh in Egypt, I'm gonna give you a quick history. The first pharaoh in Egypt, he made a deal with Joseph that he said, I'm not going to treat your brothers and your family like slaves. I want them to come work for me, and I'll feed them, and I'll clothe them, and I will look out for them. Now, after Joseph and them died, guess what? That deal was dead with that pharaoh. And the next pharaoh that took over, guess what he did with the children of Israel? Turned them into slaves. And so the thing about it is, they were like, why did we end up becoming slaves? He said, well, that deal died with him. That deal y'all made with Wagner was with Wagner. Putin didn't make that deal.
See?
I didn't tell him to do that. But y'all signed up. But Russia. No. It's Mr. Putin. Y'all want Russia. I control Russia. But you made a deal with Wagner. Wagner died 2 days after y'all signed those paperwork with him. Now you belong to me. And if y'all don't understand how Russia and China is, the president of China and Russia, they think just like that. Their people that sit around them are no more than pawns.
That's it.
And so I'm trying to let y'all know, man. Don't worry, we're gonna go into
that's communism. That's what people don't understand. That's communism.
They play high level communism.
That's communism. Like, it's a different thinking. It's a group thing. It's about group, not individual stuff. They'll throw their whole thing away. Just our little family stuff ain't nothing. Just for long Mother Russia. You know what I'm saying?
Their way of looking at sacrifice is scary.
Yeah, to us, because we are individuals and stuff.
Yeah, them.
Our feelings matter and all that stuff.
To them, mother. Y'all look at those movies when they show Russians. There's a reason why they say Mother Russia, because they look at it like, hey, I'm doing this for a higher cause.
Yeah. And that's how that thing goes.
Niger want to give them a call. On Tuesday, Wagner urges them to give them a call. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, so my thing is though, I think though, PMT, at some point they're gonna be losing. See, the Western white guy though, you gotta realize this is the one that enslaved us and that did the colonization stuff. These people have their mentality is like, okay, so the communist white guy, which is Russia, and Chinese people ain't white, but to them they're something else. They're Asians, whatever. But they actually still look at people. They look at you like you people. But this Western white guy, he actually looks at you like, I'm talking about not the average white person. Like some of us get confused. I'm talking about the dude that think that he think you just a piece of meat. That's how they think. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me end this off. Let me see what it's in. All right.
Well, like I said, you guys, it's okay. We about to run it down. You guys, we thank y'all for definitely joining us. We thank y'all for supporting us. I'm your host, BMT, along with Super Mike. You guys, if you want to go check out any of the content that we have covered, it's in our description below. You can check it out for yourself. You can commentate. You can please put your thoughts in the comment section. Me and Mike will definitely read it and look at it. We're here to actually look at that stuff. We're not attacking anybody of their group, belief, or race, even though that some other people in the video were doing it, but we were not doing that. We just were looking at it through an optical lens for it is for what it is. So other than that, hope y'all stay positive and take care of yourself.